Well, hello, Taurus. Welcome to your November reading. Hello, hello. Nice to see you. So, your overall card is, I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, but it's Aletheia. Okay. Now, Aletheia is an ancient Greek word, I want to say, a term. It's also a goddess, and it's based in truth and like full disclosure. Okay. Um, And your not archetype, Akashic record card is abundance. You are being open to abundance, to believe that you are deserving of it and to believe that it will flow to you. This is the first important step toward receiving it. Breathe deeply and trust that it's on its way. Okay? Now, about this is full disclosure that even though you're about to go through some events, okay, is that it's all for your best good. It's all for your abundance. It's all for you to live a fulfilling, better, successful, fulfilled life, okay? But it comes with the hard and harsh reality of truth, right? It's kind of like when you've been living in a black and white, that there is a gray area, or there is a other side to that black if you live in the white, or that white if you live in the black, right? There's two sides to every story. There's a truth, that embodies the whole philosophy, right? The bottom line, I guess you can say. Now, when you get to that bottom line, Taurus, this promises that there will be abundance there for you, right? Like there is something useful for you that you can use moving forward, okay? So we have new territory, meant to try new things in life, a walk in the unfamiliar, in unfamiliar territory, enabling success through learning. That's what I'm saying, okay? And courage. So this is also stepping out of your comfort zone, sort of like what Virgo is experiencing and what Capricorn is experiencing, because you're all earth signs. But this is more stepping out of a set, I feel like mental, a set mental structure, a set idea, okay? And having the courage to go through that, having the courage to say, oh, I was wrong, let's try a different direction, right? Being sort of the initiator of that, and finding success through understanding, right? That something didn't work, that maybe I should try a different way, or maybe I was seeing something, I was on the right path, but I need to tweak it a little bit. So being honest with yourself, okay? And using that to change directions, adjust direction, okay? We have awakening jolt, from shock to epiphany, okay? Embrace the upheaval as a catalyst for renewal. Family, friends, and guides. During the month of November, Taurus, there is a lot of signs and synchronicities for you. And sometimes they're not all going to line up with what you currently believe. Okay? So this is moments, shocking moments, changing moments. This is things you did not expect, information that you do not previously know, okay, that challenges things, that challenges you, coming from people that you should be able to trust, whether it is your spirit guides, your family, your friends, your loved ones, okay? Information that changes what you were thinking, changes how you were walking, in life, challenges you to look at things differently, to listen, to contemplate, okay? And then we have settling. Oops, sorry about that. settling. And that is your soul is telling you you're on the wrong path. Allow yourself the time and space to evolve and find your true path. You're in a state of avoidance because the action needed is too hard. Some of us are on a set path in our life, career wise, money wise, and we feel like that's the one that leads us to success. So, this is true in following someone else's path, someone else's teachings, when it comes to your abundance, when it comes to your finances, when it comes to your career, and being like, well, this is what successful people do. This is what the successful people say. But what do you feel? What's best for you? What do you need, right? Sometimes life doesn't always revolve around money and success. It also involves around soul searching, right? What's best for your soul? You could be in finance your whole life. And then you're like, you know what? I want to teach kindergartners. And that's fine. That's your soul dream, right? Sometimes we get stuck in things because we feel like that's what we're supposed to do. Okay. And then the first chakra, this is all about new beginnings, stability. So I feel like new beginnings in career, new beginnings in finances for you. Thinking about things differently is really the theme here. It's like finding your truth, finding what's best for you, and following that dream towards the abundance that ought to be yours, that should be yours, that's destined to be yours, right? Instead of fighting down a path that really isn't meant for you, right? That's really meant for someone else's success, and finding out what is best for you here, okay? So let's get into your cards, Taurus. Two of Wands, the Fool, Nine of Cups, Eight of Coins, Five of Cups, the Hierophant, Seven of Wands, Two of Coins, Queen of Wands, the Lovers, and the Five of Wands. So right off the back, Taurus, I see that you run the risk of running off the things that are for you, trying to chase the things that you think are for you or that you desire. But it's almost like you're pushing away the things that are actually for you, that are meant for you. Especially in the center where we have the Five of Cups here. It's like there's an emotional disconnect, right? You may be in a space where you're like, emotions lead to trouble. Emotions are weak. They don't mean much, right? But November begs you to feel those emotions, to lead you to some sort of understanding or wisdom, right? It's like, and I've said this for you before in a reading, it's sort of a missing piece for you. It's a lifelong journey for you to connect with and understand your emotions and other people's emotions, and how it can help you lead yourself to success. Instead of thinking of them as a weakness or pushing them away. So this is that lifelong tale that I keep telling you, just coming up again in a certain way. You definitely have this fierce push to be great, to move forward. You're always thinking of the next steps. What can make you better? What can make you more money? What you can buy to improve your life or improve your status, things of that nature. And yes, I feel like it makes you happy. You know, it's not that you're not happy where you are, where you stand, but there's always a craving in you, Taurus, for better and more than what you have, which is not necessarily bad. But I see that you find confidence in possessions and having, in obtaining, in fulfilling, like goals and desires. But I also see that it's within just a certain realm. It's within just a certain space. You could have more, right? You could be fulfilled where you don't have to keep looking for things, where you don't have to excessively try to have or hold or find. But it feels as though you keep yourself in that outside perimeter, you know, not quite grasping the entire concept. Interesting. So, yeah, I mainly see a drive to move forward, a drive to be successful, but your ultimate success, the one that you don't have to keep questioning, like you don't have to keep doing new things, takes a certain amount of risk that you are not, I don't want to say willing, that you are frightened to take. And it will separate you from this life of comfort that you've sort of created, stability, like a life that is predictable in a way. And there's a fear of falling outside of those realms or messing that up. It's like all of your risk, or the risks that you take, are over calculated, and it doesn't hold a sense of risk that you will lose something. So it's not a large risk that I'm seeing. Yeah, so in reality, like I said, Taurus, there's a working around or outside of the perimeters of that risk, right? So you're almost close to it, but not far enough, you know, not taking too big of a risk. You don't want to feel out of control. You don't want to feel lost. Um, Sort of like you'll try to compromise, but you won't compromise too much where you have to make a sacrifice. It's very much on the teetering edge. And I see that that's like putting a band aid on the situation, but not actually resolving it or not actually getting you where you want to go. And you have to continuously do that. But you're starting to see more and more how your rules, the rules that you've made for yourself, the boundaries that you've made for yourself, don't allow you to exceed past where you currently are. In November, the universe is going to show you the parts of yourself and the parts of your life that you choose to keep sort of under lock and key, because you know that if you open that door, it would make you question the things that you have worked towards. It would make you question the rules that you've made, the structures that you've built, and you don't like to feel out of control. Okay. But confronting all of these things head first helps you resolve these sort of underlined or backseat issues. Okay. So that you can actually move forward, so you can actually be strong and actually have the courage to take new direction and get to that ultimate abundance that is yours. Wow. Okay. I didn't know this was going to get so deep on you, Taurus. Okay. In the past, I see that you have made some decisions that you thought would be for the best of everyone involved. It wasn't like that you were being selfish. You thought that these were the best steps forward for everyone, I'm seeing. And you've also seen that sometimes you can miss the point. You can miss the ball, right? Because you hold so tight to your structure, to your rules, to your understanding, that sometimes you miss the bigger picture because you don't have that knowledge of not stepping outside of that box, that particular rule or boundary. Okay. And sometimes this can hurt others. Sometimes, and this comes out in different ways for you. Hurting others, people feeling like you're not listening to them, not connecting, losing friends, all kinds of things. Okay. And I see that you have been working on it, but you've been working on it one piece at a time, one issue at a time, right? Like, oh, this person has an issue with me, we'll deal with that. This person has an issue or this situation is coming, I'll deal with that. Sort of like you're blocking out other things that may need your attention. But it's because of safety. Sometimes we could be trapped in our own safety that we don't take big enough risks to resolve the larger issue, that we only stick with the smaller ones because they're safe. And yeah, because you're trying to like save yourself. You have a lot of like needing to self protect. I feel a lot of that, especially in the past. So, November, moving into November. Yeah, November is forcing you to take some risks, whether you like it or not. Especially on things that you have not touched or that you will not explore. This is the opportunity for you to sort of have a sense of renewal or a rebirth in those areas or make big changes. And the way that I'm seeing them is there's a lot of changes coming towards you that you can't control in November. And you're not going to like that. There's a lot of truths, there's a lot of things that need to be discussed that you're not going to like. Okay? Because I feel, especially with the 5 of Cups in the middle, there's a sadness around it. And it's like something has to happen. Something big is happening so you can feel the loss of something. Like truly feel the loss. To truly accept that there needs to be change or there needs to be attention paid to an issue specifically. Okay? So I feel like that sadness plays a big role in you changing your thoughts or your choices around something. Okay? Because then we have the 2 of Coins here, and it's like you're forced to balance that out. You're forced to work on that. You're forced to have that quiet conversation, between yourself and your spirit guides, or your higher power, to really resolve some issues, okay? So you have the opportunity to really be happy, like truly be happy, to truly feel safe in a situation, to truly feel satisfied in a situation, right? But you have to do things with integrity. You have to listen to both sides. You have to be fair, right? And then you have to take action based on being fair, based on having integrity, not just about what's best for you or what you think is best for the general conversation, okay? Or everyone involved, right? So there is a change in a structure in your life. There's a change in a tradition. There's a change in a conformity that you have, in expectations you have of yourself and others or of situations. And it's not something that you're going to like, Taurus, okay? But I feel like this is presented to you so you can see something truthfully and then make the changes accordingly. That's really going to help you build honestly and authentically in the future. Okay. Right. So you can actually feel strong in yourself based on your courage and your inner strength, and not on, like, I'm going to say like environmental things, like how much money you have, what kind of job you have, what kind of materials you've gathered, but a feeling like I'm strong within myself because I took control over things within me, that were causing me to seek safety or comfort in things outside of myself. I hope that makes sense. I feel like I was rambling, but I had my eyes closed, so you know how spirit works. But we're going to get now into each area so we can travel out of that conversation. Yeah. Your viewpoint on material goods and work and your job is definitely changing. And it's more focused on what is true to you, what's in your heart, what do you really want to do, what you're best at. Okay. Focusing on those things. I see a lot of changes when it comes to how you think about material goods and the type of, I don't know, career that you want to lead. Okay. You're still a little iffy when it comes to expressing emotions, but like you don't really trust them, but emotions are there for a reason. And I feel like you're going to struggle with listening to your emotions and the emotions of others, like changing your thoughts around emotions, you know, changing your narrative around emotions. But I will say this to you, Taurus, is that emotions are there for a reason. Okay. And that's something that you're going to have to understand. Like I said, it's a part of your journey. It's just that sometimes you can misinterpret them. That's what it is. But you have to learn how to have like a honest communication with emotions and feelings. Okay. November may feel like some of your worst nightmares are being presented to you. But I see it's more just the fear of not having control. Okay. The fear of not knowing what's next. So you're going to have to move forward in a lot of faith. Okay. And a lot of trusting yourself and knowing who you are, not based on rules or regulations, but it's sort of like starting from scratch. Like if you were a newborn child who does not know the world and you don't have a past, how would you move forward? That's what I feel like November is bringing to you, sort of that clean slate for you to do that. Healing your emotions, healing your feelings, also heals your thoughts, which heals your actions and then heals your relationships. Okay, Taurus? So I feel like issues that you thought maybe that you had resolved when it comes to your emotions or relationships were not really resolved. It feels like in November they start to come up and it shocks you. Like, oh, I thought this was resolved, or oh, I thought this was done. And realizing that you kind of put a band aid on the situation instead of resolving it deep down. So, this is your opportunity in November. That's why I say emotions are important, to really get deep down and understand those feelings so you can resolve them, like truly resolve them so they don't have to keep coming up for you. So I will like to say the reason why the Akashic record here is for abundance, and we always think it's about money and we always think it's about material wellness, but the abundance of life, abundance is about success. It's about confidence and comfortability in one's life. You can be abundant and just have a happy and successful family. Abundance comes in all different forms. It's not just material goods. And I'm not saying that the material isn't good here, Taurus, because I do see you like following your dreams and fulfilling, your true desires and what you're actually really good at, like your gifts. So, yeah, this is a good reading. So I love you, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.